All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachakodash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders Great Millstone, and salute unto you, brothers out there, preachers, word, serious truth. All right, coming to you with a lesson, current update, articles, measuring the time diligently, as the scriptures say, in Second Esdras, chapter 9. All right. I got this article here, Associated Press via Yahoo. Said new estimate could face default on debt by early June. All right. If you don't know, well, the date is February 22nd, 2023. And the United States of America, aka Great Babylon, according to the Bible, is under heavy debt. Okay, and I'm gonna grab that scripture because the so-called white man he's gonna run his society under heavy debt. The paper fiat currency, American dollar, and all these other currency is basically a debt note. Okay, but primarily the American dollar is a debt note. It's not backed by gold or silver. Okay, and it's just based off what you call a fiat currency. Basically means a faith-based currency. Okay, so Lord will, this debt default will come into fruition. All right. And the BRICS nations, because they back their currency by gold, so they're doing a good thing by backing their currency by precious metals, which it was started out supposed to be, all right, because that's what the Lord made. That's what the Most High made the currency of the earth, gold and silver. Okay, so that's the standard. So by taking, paper currency off the gold and silver standard, you're destined to fall. Okay. So let me read some of this. I'm gonna grab scripture. The U.S. could face an unprecedented default on its obligations as soon as early June if Congress does not act to lift the debt limit. They probably will, but I hope they won't. Lord will, because Great Babylon got to fall, man. Okay, and Esau, the top elites need to, get forth their, push forth their new world order, man. So they need to get rid of the paper currency, which is the debt note. Was $31 trillion in debt. Yeah, they need to get rid of that and start out clean and push this CBDC, digital system. And that's gonna basically gonna springboard the CHIP, the Charagma, the implementation of a device that's gonna be put inside of people, and that's the what you call the mark of the beast, pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter, 14th chapter, 19th chapter, 20th chapter. And that's what the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, starting with the apostles of GMS on down, has been warning you Israelites about. So-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans have been warning you constantly, The U.S. could face an unprecedented default on its obligation as soon as early June if Congress does not act to lift the debt limit. Washington think tank said Wednesday. Bipartisan Policy Center, which forecasts an approximate X date when the government would no longer be able to meet its financial obligation on time, said the U.S. will reach a statutory debt limit as soon as the summer or early fall 2023. That inches up from the center's previous prediction in June 2022 that the extraordinary measures that U.S. Treasury used to pay the government's bills will not be exhausted before the third quarter 2023. Okay. You basically get the point. Let me read this one here. Yellen said her actions will buy time until Congress can pass legislation that will either raise the nation's $31.4 trillion borrowing authority or suspend the limit for a period of time. But she said it is critical that Congress act in a timely manner. All right. So let me jump to the scriptures here. Habakkuk, the 2nd chapter, and the 6th verse. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunted proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? Yeah, that's talking about Esau, Edom, man, the so-called white man. Okay, he goes all around the planet Earth, you know, and you know, takes the resources of the earth, you know, enslave civilizations of people, you know. That's what he does. The elites of the society, you know, the elite bankers, Rothschilds, Gates, DuPonts, Rockefellers, Oppenheimers, those families, those Edomite families that rule the earth, they use America as their military power, you know. Scriptures say Babylon is the hammer of the earth. And who's swinging that hammer? You know, ultimately it's the Most High swinging the hammer, but he uses the elites, the elite Edomites, to swing that hammer, slam that hammer on these other nations. Okay. And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Okay. And if you look up the word thick clay, it goes in the Hebrew word abadyat, which means weight of pledges, heavy debt. Okay, and that's what Great Babylon is facing. That's the problem they're facing right now, is heavy debt. They want to raise the debt limit. Okay, so this is how he's going to run the society, through heavy debt. Okay. And what does that mean to the average person? That means you're going to be paying extra money for your so-called money for your products. Okay, it's called inflation. Where when they print more and more money, so-called money, dollar bills, fiat currency, debt, they basically you have to pay more for your products. Okay, and these stupid idiots, Esau, and the American government, they have a law that they're trying to pass on. It's called I think inflation reduction or something like that, where it's going to take billions of dollars for them reduce inflation. That doesn't make any sense, because the more fiat currency you print or add in a system, via computers, the more inflation is gonna cause. Okay, so yeah, this place is full of confusion. So that's what the word Babylon means, confusion. Okay, it's full of lies and robbery. So yeah, I just want to bring that scripture out, man. And that's pretty much all I got. Shalom.